evolution kept happening. Okay. Then they said, okay, it is not, let us understand it from the perspective of the mind. So then these Greek philosophers, the great minds, they came up with this definition that psychology was the study of minds. Okay. Now then the same question rose. How can you study the mind? How can you measure what you think? How can you rationally study mind? You possibly cannot. Now, by that time, I mean, they were facing failures when they were trying to deduce ideas as to psychology is the soul and study of the soul or the study of the mind. So through that, certain ideas came, and the ideas came from this person, William James. James, in his book, the book was called Principles of Psychology. In that book, he said that psychology is the study of consciousness. Okay. Now, consciousness, in the first during this time when this definition had come up, during this time, the first psychology where psychological experiments were being conducted, they were started in Leipzig, Germany. Okay, and William Wundt was there. He was the one who opened this first lab, and they started working on this. Psychology is him and his disciple Titchener was there. They all decided the psychology is the study of consciousness. Now, then came other people like experts' opinion, whatever that we go through in the books and the texts that we have learned. So it starts with one person going through a certain crisis. The crisis can be problems in their marital life, problems in their personal life, problems in their work life. Problems might be adjustment issues, emotional issues, behavioral problems, mood-related problems, namely adjustment issues. Okay. Now, this person has chosen a certain counselor, has heard about this person or learned about this person, and chooses to opt for help. Now, this is one scenario. In other cases, a lot of time it so happens that the person who's coming to you for the counseling session has not come out of free will. Somebody or some organization, some institute, some member of the family, they have made this person come for the session because a problem that they observe. There is something called insight that we'll learn about. Insight is something which is very important for a counseling session to work. A person who has proper insight will benefit from a counseling session. And if a person's insight level is very poor, the counseling sessions might not work at all, or might not have any influence over the person's behavior, or might not bring about any, what should I say, qualitative or quantitative change in the behavior of the person we're talking about, in case the insight is poor. So a person might not come out of their free will. Say a child. The child does not see any problem in their own behavior. The people taking care of him, like the parents, they see a lot of issues. Arey, attention nahi deta, arey, concentrate nahi karta, doesn't eat anything, is very rude, ma'am, deliberately behaves very badly with us, deliberately irritates us, doesn't want to sit with us, doesn't want to go out with his friends, etc. Okay, that can be a scenario. Now, counseling is the relationship between those two people, a relationship which is professional in every way, where one person is offering and trying to help the other person to understand their behavior, their emotional troubles in a better way, and help or aid in any of the adjustment issues, the emotional issues, or whatever issues that this person is having. It is an individualized process, a personalized assistance program planned and catered as per the need of the client. So counseling is not a generalized thing. Okay. For each person that you cater to, there you are catering to a person who is an individual, who is a peculiar individual, a person with their own sets of ideas, sets of beliefs, sets of experiences in the past, sets of schemas or cognitive ideas that they have formed over the years. And you have to be flexible enough to be catering to anything that comes your way, keeping aside your own defined counseling. What is the definition of counseling? Counseling in 1952, Carl Rogers gave this definition, that it is a process by which the structure of the self means the very particular qualities that is making you up as a person. If you are the counselee, what you are, the structure of yourself, your personality, your sets of thoughts, your beliefs, etc. That structure is relaxed in the safety of the client's relationship with the therapist, and previously denied experiences are perceived and then integrated into an altered self. Whatever experiences, beliefs, things, situations that this person went through, whatever were previously present, and they were not accepted by the client before. Say the client is somebody who has an anger management issue, okay? Never takes responsibility for his or her own actions. Okay. Always finds it easier, convenient to blame somebody else for their own wrongdoings or misdoings or mistreatings or whatever. Now, if this person has the heart to go for a counseling session, whatever the denial was on the part of this client, the fact that the client was the one who was almost, in most cases, the cause of conflict in their marital life. Okay. A cause of nuisance problems in the family life. Okay. These experiences which were earlier denied, like मैंने तो कुछ नहीं किया, I have not done anything, it's them. Those experiences, when they will be discussed in the safety of the therapeutic alliance, the relationship between the alliance that is formed between the client and the counselor, when things will be discussed without judgment, without an environment of judgment, within an environment of empathy, non-judgment, complete acceptance, non-judgmental attitude, those experiences will be perceived, and the new set of beliefs and ideas will be integrated in this newly formed self-idea. That is counseling. What this term psychology, what it means? Psyche is the soul, and logy or logos is a study, a rational course or a study. So the study of soul, right? By definition, psychology, as per the name goes, it's the study of soul. Now, when the Greek philosophers, huh? Hmm. Hmm. ठीक है, okay, okay. Hmm. So the Greek philosophers who started off trying to understand souls. Now the name was coined, but how do you study a soul? How do you study soul? How do you measure soul? How can you identify the traits of a soul? You cannot. Now, definitions kept, I mean, evolution kept happening. Okay. Then they said, okay, it is not, let us understand it from the perspective of the mind. So then these Greek philosophers, the great minds, they came up with this definition that psychology was the study of minds. Okay. Now then the same question goes. How can you study the mind? How can you measure what you think?